Music isn't just sound, it's a living, breathing history. Across decades, certain songs have broken every rule, defied expectations, and left their mark on generations. These aren't just hits, they're anthems that changed music forever.
And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell.
Stay with me until the end, because the #1 song on our list didn't just make history, it redefined what rock could be. 10. Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, 1975.
Put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead.
In 1975, Queen released a song unlike anything heard before. Freddie Mercury's vision fused ballad, operatic drama, and hard rock without a single traditional chorus. At nearly 6 minutes long, it was considered too risky for radio. But Queen didn't care. They recorded it across 5 different studios, layering over 180 vocal tracks into one groundbreaking mix. Even its music video, more a cinematic spectacle than a promo, changed how music was presented on television. Skeptics doubted it would work until one brave radio station aired it in full. The response was electric. It soared to #1 worldwide and became a symbol of artistic rebellion. Decades later, thanks to Wayne's World and the Bohemian Rhapsody biopic, the song found new life, becoming the most streamed track of the 20th century. Today, every time someone belts out, "Galileo!" they're channeling Queen's fearless spirit, the band that didn't just break the rules, they wrote their own. 9. Rock Around the Clock, Bill Haley and His Comets, 1954.
11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock, we're gonna rock around 3 and 4. If the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock.
On April 12, 1954, inside the Pythian Temple in New York, a track was recorded that almost slipped into obscurity. But a year later, it blazed into history after featuring in the film Blackboard Jungle. Suddenly, Rock Around the Clock became the heartbeat of a restless new generation. Built on the 12-bar blues with Danny Cedrone's unforgettable guitar solo and lyrics that begged you to dance without end, it opened the gates of rock and roll to the masses.
Swing 5, 6, and 7. We'll be right in 7th heaven.
According to the Guinness World Records, it sold over 25 million copies, making it the most successful vinyl single ever released by a group. It topped charts in the US and UK, returned to hit lists decades later, and in 2018 was preserved by the Library of Congress as part of America's cultural heritage. More than just a hit, it was the spark that ignited a revolution still echoing in music today. 8. Don't Stop Believin', Journey, 1981. When Journey released this track in October 1981, they broke a golden rule of songwriting, saving the chorus for last. Steve Perry, Jonathan Cain, and Neil Schon crafted an unconventional structure that somehow became a generational anthem. Loved by rock fans from the start, its true explosion came decades later, first in 2007 with The Sopranos' iconic final scene, then with the Glee cover that introduced it to a whole new audience. 2024, it had sold over 25 million copies and earned 2 diamond certifications. From stadiums to weddings to karaoke nights, it's sung as a rallying cry for hope, perseverance, and never giving up on dreams. More than a song, Don't Stop Believin' is a reminder, no matter the odds, hold on to that feeling. 7. We Are the World, USA for Africa, 1985.
It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
In just one night, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie wrote a song that would unite the most famous voices of the era. Under Quincy Jones' direction and his strict instruction to leave your ego at the door, 45 superstars gathered in a single studio for a cause bigger than any of them. Released in 1985, We Are the World became an instant global sensation. #1 in dozens of countries, over 20 million copies sold, and roughly $60 million raised to fight hunger in Africa.
Pretending day by day that someone somewhere.
It swept 4 Grammy Awards, and behind the scenes came unforgettable moments. Prince's surprising absence, Stevie Wonder guiding an unsure Bob Dylan through his lines, and the collective power of so many legends sharing one microphone. Decades later, its chorus still carries a message of hope and solidarity. When art joins forces for humanity, it can move the world. Number 6. Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, 1958.
Someday you will be a man. You will be the leader of a big old band.
In 1958, Chuck Berry unleashed a song that would become a cornerstone of rock and roll. Johnny Be Good told the tale of a young guitarist chasing his dreams, a story Berry admitted was a reflection of his own beginnings. Its opening guitar riff became one of the most recognizable in music history, defining the sound of early rock. The song's impact was so profound, it was chosen for the Voyager Golden Record, a message sent into space to represent human creativity to the universe.
Say your name will be in license. Johnny Be Good tonight. Go, go.
New generations rediscovered it through films like Back to the Future, keeping its energy alive decades later. More than a classic, it's a celebration of ambition, talent, and the belief that with enough passion, a dream can travel anywhere, even beyond the stars. 5. Hotel California, Eagles, 1976.
I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell.
Released in 1976, Hotel California quickly became one of rock's most haunting and mysterious anthems. Written by Don Felder, Don Henley, and Glenn Frey, it tells the story of a charming hotel from which no one can truly leave, a metaphor that has fueled endless interpretations for decades. With its hypnotic atmosphere and one of the most celebrated guitar solos in rock history, the song soared to #1 and earned the Eagles a Grammy Award.
They dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat.
Its cryptic lyrics, blending beauty and unease, have kept fans debating its meaning ever since. Even today, Hotel California retains its power to captivate, pulling listeners into a place they may never want to escape, yet somehow never can. 4. I Can't Get No Satisfaction, The Rolling Stones, 1965.
Make some girl tell me, baby, better come back maybe next week.
In 1965, Keith Richards woke up in the middle of the night, grabbed a small tape recorder, and captured a guitar riff that would change rock history. That raw, jagged phrase became the backbone of Satisfaction, a song that perfectly bottled the frustration, rebellion, and restless spirit of an entire generation.
Buddy, I can't be your man 'cause he doesn't smoke the same cigarettes as me.
With Mick Jagger's provocative delivery and lyrics that cut into consumerism and cultural discontent, it was more than a hit. It was a cultural shockwave. It became the Stones' first #1 in both the US and UK, cementing their place as global rock icons. The riff remains one of the most instantly recognizable in music, a symbol of the nonconformist energy that defined the 1960s and redefined what a rock band could be. 3. Empty Spaces, Pink Floyd, 1979. Part of the legendary concept album, The Wall, Empty Spaces stands as one of Pink Floyd's most haunting and enigmatic creations. Written by Roger Waters, it bridges the story between the protagonist's growing hopelessness and his emotional collapse, a stark meditation on isolation, loss, and the crushing weight of fame. Musically, it builds a hypnotic, almost unsettling atmosphere, foreshadowing the tension that unfolds later in the album. Hidden within its grooves is a backward message, just one of the many layers that make The Wall a treasure chest of symbols and secrets for devoted fans. Short but heavy with meaning, Empty Spaces proves that silence and absence can speak as loudly as any lyric. It leaves listeners with questions rather than answers, a reminder that the most profound truths are often the hardest to explain. 2. Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin, 1971.
If there's a bus song in your hedgerow, don't be alone there.
Released in 1971 of Led Zeppelin's fourth studio album, Stairway to Heaven became one of the most revered songs in rock history, despite never being released as a single. Written by Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, its poetic, mysterious lyrics have inspired decades of debate, while its structure takes listeners on a journey from a gentle acoustic opening to a soaring electric climax. Page's guitar solo is hailed as one of the greatest ever recorded, and the song's seamless progression feels almost like a spiritual voyage, transcending time, genre, and generation.
To be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have.
For years, it was the most requested track on radio, even without official promotion. Over 5 decades later, Stairway to Heaven remains more than just a song. It's an experience. It speaks of longing, uncertain paths, and the search for something beyond ourselves. A timeless masterpiece that refuses to fade. 1. Dream On, Aerosmith, 1973. When Aerosmith released their debut album in 1973, no one predicted that one track, written by a teenaged Steven Tyler, would become an eternal rock anthem. Inspired by hours spent watching his father play classical piano, Tyler poured his frustrations, dreams, and hopes into Dream On. It begins as a delicate whisper over piano chords, slowly building into an emotional storm. By the final verses, Tyler's voice cracks and soars, delivering a raw intensity that became the song's signature.
Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the love, sing.
At first, it wasn't a massive hit, but when reissued years later, Dream On exploded in popularity, shaping the band's identity and becoming a cornerstone of their live shows. Its lasting power comes from its honesty, an unflinching reminder that every scar, every struggle is part of the price we pay for chasing something greater. Even today, it plays in stadiums, films, and tributes worldwide, a beacon for dreamers who refuse to give up. Because as long as there are dreams, there's always a reason to keep going. These songs aren't just tracks on a playlist, they're milestones in the story of rock. Each one broke boundaries, spoke to its time, and left an imprint on music history that still resonates today. From Queen's operatic rebellion to Aerosmith's heartfelt promise, they remind us that music is more than sound. It's emotion, courage, and connection. If these stories made you feel the pulse of rock history, imagine what's still out there waiting to be rediscovered. So tell us, which of these songs speaks to you the most? Drop your answer in the comments and let's keep the conversation alive. And if you love diving into the legends behind the music, make sure to subscribe. There's a lot more to come.